Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the HermitCraft Feed the Beast server. So I was just coming down here under the oil area to check everything out, and both my oil and my fuel tanks are completely full and we're overflowing into this barrel. Look at that, 17 stacks of these oily propolis. Now I was looking at this a little bit earlier when we had 16 stacks in here, and I did the math, and that's well over 500 buckets of oil just in this. Now also here we have, in the squeezer, 9 more stacks of the oily propolis. So yeah, we got quite a lot of oil that hasn't even been turned into oil yet. The oily propolis, each one of those is half a bucket. So yeah, that is really, really awesome. We are producing so much oil right now. I don't think we have to worry about power for quite some time. That also means that I could easily add more steam boilers down here to produce more MJ power, which is really awesome. That is great news because we're going to be using a lot of that pretty soon once we get all these alvearies hooked up and all of the combs automatically being processed and turned into other things. Because remember, we have all these different cells right now that are going to be filled up with the alvearies that aren't quite there yet, and then I do plan on adding more cells as we progress along with more bees. Now last episode we were over here messing around with this guy. We had the chocolate frames and the frame housings, and we were mutating bees using the mutator and a nether star. So we made the emerald bees last episode. That was pretty cool. Now I said that you can fill up like the bottom 2 rows with any block, but the top row has to be full of the alveary blocks. All 9 of those have to be alvearies. Well, I found out that is not true. You can actually change the corner blocks on this top one to be all frame housings. So you can add 4 more frame housings to this for a total of 22, I think. So that is pretty awesome. So over here, you can see I have done this already. I got 1 alveary here. It is an alveary. You can see the textures change right here. We have the frame housings with the proven frames in them. Every single block besides the top 5, 3 in this side or 3 in this row, and then the 2 on the sides over here are all straight alveary blocks. So that's pretty awesome. So now that I know that you can do this, I've been playing around with this and I found out something really cool. Check this out. We have an impregnable queen in here which produces a titanium comb. Let's go downstairs real quick. I have this little, I forget what this thing's called. I don't remember. The bee analyzer, or it's something like that. This guy tells you all the different information about all the different bees, what they produce, and how long it takes. So if we scroll down here, and let's look at the impregnable bee. Look at this. The specialty is the titanium comb every 1.3 hours. That is slow. But when you put that in an alveary, and that alveary has 22 frame housings full of frames, these guys make these titanium combs about once every 27 seconds. 27 seconds. That means we can get a full titanium dust at less than 2 minutes. Each of these titanium combs processes into a tiny pile of titanium dust, and I have tried this with a few other bees. I've also made ruby bees, and I put ruby bees in here. It's the same thing. I'm not really sure exactly how long it's supposed to take for their specialty, but I do know that it takes the same amount of time. So the ruby bees would be 27 seconds for their specialty. The titanium's 27 seconds. This is awesome. But there is the problem that not only do we need the alveary, but we need the frame housings, and then we have to keep all of these frame housings full. So that is quite a lot of frames. It is going to be using a lot of frames to make all this stuff. So that is something else we got to worry about. Okay, so yeah, the titanium combs, awesome. I'm actually curious right now. I don't think I looked this up before. I'm interested in seeing what the specialty of the ruby bee, how often that's supposed to make one. And this says every 50.9 minutes. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. So if the impregnable bee is 1.3 hours, the ruby bee is 50.9 minutes, and they both produce a specialty comb every 27 seconds, with the 22 frame housings in there, I think we probably have too many frame housings. So this is something I want to test. I want to set up a couple of these alvearies, well, probably more like 4 or 5 of them with varying amounts of frame housings. And I want to see exactly how many frames and frame housings we need to make the specialty combs every 27 seconds. Because I really think, especially with the ruby bees, that 22 of them is way too many. Okay, so over here, you can see I've also done this. This is where I've been making the royal jelly, right? We got a lot of royal jelly. This is 2 days worth. 143 stacks of it. Pollen, same deal. So we got all these frame housings here, and they are making these guys go ridiculous. I think these are also going like every 27 seconds. It might be 25. There might be some lag, but I tried, timing it with a stopwatch on my phone, and it seemed like I was getting about 27 seconds for the amount of time between the products. And what's also awesome is we are getting 2 pollen and 2 of the stringy combs or whatever those are. Same thing over here, 2 royal jelly and 2 of the dripping combs every like 30 seconds or whatever. So every time this health bar goes down, basically we get, those 4 items, which is really, really awesome. This is so much faster than what I was doing before. Now I have a stockpile of stuff. I can't use it fast enough. So yeah, I've been continuing to take that and make the scented panelings for more alveary blocks. And then we're going to start messing with this stuff. So I brought the router from over where the oily bees are, and I hooked it up here. And then this router is providing these proven frames to both this alveary and this one, because I didn't feel like I needed that for the oily bees. And then I have them connected down here using these disk drives, because I already had those made. So these are all considered part of the same network. So this router is feeding all 44 of these frame housings on both of these alvearies, which is awesome. Okay, so 3,208 proven frames. What? That is a lot. You can only get these from villagers, and you can only get 6 of these for 1 emerald. So I took some emeralds from King Daddy D Mac a few days ago. He had his emerald machine running, and then I went down there to check on it while he was away for the weekend or something, and it was all backed up. There was emeralds everywhere, so I took like 10 or 15 stacks. He knows about it. He's cool with it. And yeah, they're the ones that are right here. I got 6 more stacks of them. So I've been trading these with my villager buddies that I have down here in their little hole, and I found out some interesting things, actually. So they look exactly the same, right? This one's got mossy comb, and this one's got parch comb. But aside from that, their trades are exactly the same, right? Well, not really. Here's something pretty cool to know about these guys. So these bee villagers, they only have 4 trades. They will trade an emerald for proven frames. They will trade wheat for a mossy comb, or this is random. This doesn't matter though. Wheat for a comb. They'll trade a princess for an emerald, and they will also trade 24 oak wood. These are the logs. I don't know why the texture looks like that, but 24 oak logs for an apiary, right? So that's pretty cool. So what's the difference between them? Well, here's something that's pretty interesting. The very first trade on this guy is an emerald for a proven frame. See how you got the X's through it? He will only do so many trades of this very first trade. And he's like, nope, you need to trade me one of these other trades, and then I might think about letting you do more of this. So that's cool. We can still get the proven frames, but that means that we need a stockpile of wheat or bees. What the heck? Is he down here? Nope. Or princesses or emeralds. Oh, wrong guy. Where you at? This guy. Princesses or wood, right? And then once we trade him all this stuff, he'll unlock this eventually, and then he'll lock it again until we do these other trades. Well, my other villager buddy here on the right, he's got the same trades, but they're in a fairly different order. He does the wood for the apiary first, then he does the wheat for the comb second, princess for the emeralds third, and this is what makes this villager awesome. Looks like DMAC wants me to sleep. Let's do this. Having... Oops. Having the villager with the emerald as its very last trade is awesome because these guys, no matter what their last trade is, they will never run out of it. Just the way that these guys are set up. So I can trade him villagers I can trade him emerald all day long. He will give me proven frames until he stops, and then I can, get off his GUI, look away for a second. He'll do his little swirlies. I can come over here, trade him more emerald, and I will get more proven frames. We can actually see this real quick. Let me just take a stack of these things. So if I come over to the one on the right, I'll just give him the emeralds. He'll give me these proven frames. You can shift click these, and it looks like it fills up your inventory and takes all your emeralds. That's actually not true. I probably only got like 5 stacks. If I pull these out, it updates my inventory, gives me back those extra emeralds, and you can see I have these proven frames. I'm going to unclick off this guy. He's going to do his little swirly thing, and now I can click back on him again and get more proven frames. So I can do this over and over and over and over again, and this guy will never run out. He will never want another trade, and that makes this bee villager extremely useful. Like if I try and do this again actually without clicking off him, see, he won't even accept that trade. I think it might be X'd out right now, but as soon as I get off of him, he'll do his little swirlies and no longer X'd out. So yeah, if you're gonna do any trading with a bee villager for the proven frames, you want to find one where this is the very last trade, and that way you can get all of the proven frames you want without having to worry about any of those other silly trades. Very, very awesome. So yeah, I've been doing this, and I filled up that barrel full of the proven frames, and then that barrel is feeding into that router, feeding into these two alvearies to make the stuff for the apiary blocks, right? The scented panelings. Very good. Okay, so let's see. This barrel is using a wooden pipe with a... Guess I got an extra one of those for some reason. How did that happen? I don't know. So this barrel is using a wooden pipe with an autarkic gate going into a router. I'm sorry, not a router, a relay. The relay is pushing these proven frames into this router. And the reason why I have it set up like this is because maybe multiple frames will, break at once. This relay should be able to push in all of its inventory as soon as the router uses one, and this will be really fast to replace all the frames, so there's no chance of us ever having, a tick without the frames in there. Okay, but here's the problem though. If you use a regular autarkic gate on a wooden pipe into something like this, and you say energy pulse when the inventory is empty, the way that these autarkic gates are set up, they pulse really fast, and they'll probably push out 12 or 15 items all at once before it registers, hey, the inventory isn't empty anymore. So this will fill up, and then you'll have like frames all over the ground, which is not very cool. So I found out, actually I guess by trial and error, I figured this out myself, that there are these other types of autarkic gates. This is called an autarkic iron AND gate. And what I have it doing is, as long as the pipe is empty, we can do an energy pulsar. And as long as there's space in the inventory, do an energy pulsar. So this will push out items when this doesn't have anything in it. It will pull out of that barrel, but as soon as one item enters this pipe, this thing's like, nope, the pipe is not empty anymore. Oh, I guess that actually happened too fast. Let me do this again. Let me look on this thing. Yeah. As soon as one item goes into that pipe, it's like, nope, the pipe is not empty anymore. And this thing turns off and it won't send any more. So it's only going to send one at a time. Very awesome. That way you don't have frames going all over the place. Now this will work on pretty much anything where you want to keep just one item in an inventory, or you want to keep the inventory always full without having, item loops to have the items go back into the barrel or whatever. With this setup, I could have this barrel and this pipe directly on top of this router, and I'd always get one in there. But the problem is, like I said before, if multiple frames break at the same time, it takes a little bit of time for the frame to go through the wooden pipe into the inventory and then it'd be, replace this, and then it'd start again, replace that one. And yeah, there'd be time where we wouldn't have frames in the frame housing. So I'm using this as a little bit of a buffer, so this router can always provide the frames when it's needed, and this can fill up this, as necessary. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let me get some things set up here. I want to test the speed of these the apiaries, alvearies, not the apiaries, alveary. I want to test the speed of these, how fast they can produce the extra combs with different amount of frame housings. I want to find out what the optimal amount of frame housings are, just so I'm not wasting all of my proven frames for nothing. Like for instance, this thing might have a maximum of only 2 royal jelly that it can produce at a time, and I might do that with 7 frames in there or something. So I might be wasting a good amount of these frames for nothing. So yep, a little bit of testing that I want to do. So let me get some tests set up and we will be right back. Okay, so I was just setting up the test here, and I just had probably the biggest fail ever. I went downstairs and I grabbed the relay, and I grabbed the router and the machine filter, and I picked up the barrel with the frames, and I came over here and I set it down and I dropped it and it landed on a flower. As soon as I hit that flower, it broke into an item and landed on the ground. It turned into a craft packet maker. I lost 3,000 plus, 3,500 proven frames because of that. So just be careful when you're moving barrels around with the portal gun. Something like that could happen to you. I guess I gotta go trade my villager for a little bit and get some more proven frames. But I was going to hook up the router down here to provide the proven frames for all of these guys. Very simple to do if you have a barrel that doesn't lose all of its contents. Okay, so we put that there, and this guy here, and I don't even have a barrel anymore. I have a craft packet maker. Great. Oh man. Okay, well, let me grab another barrel. I'm gonna trade the villager, get this thing hooked up, make sure all these get filled up with the frames, and we will be right back. Okay guys, so here's the test. What we're going to do is we have these 4 alvearies set up here. This one at the end is just all plain alveary blocks. So theoretically, we should be getting a titanium comb every 1.3 hours. Right here we have an alveary that has all of the frame housings. This is the same one we had before. This one right here has the bottom 2 rows, or I guess layers, all the alveary blocks. So it's 18 alvearies, frame housings, I'm sorry. And then this one right here has 9 of the frame housings, all the bottom ones. All of those are being filled by this router and these proven frames right here. So all of them have the proven frames. So that's pretty cool. So what I want to see is what the difference is with these impregnable princesses. It took a while to get all of these matched up here, but these are all the same. So I'm going to stick a pair in each one of these. And basically what I want to see is, do they live longer in the different alvearies, and which one produces the most amount of combs? Now, what the real question is this one right here going to produce the same amount as this one? Because if they do, that means that I can save on 4 frames per life cycle of these proven frames. We can save some there, and then what the difference between having 9 as opposed to 18 is, because if it's really not that much of a difference, we could save 9 more frames that way. So I think this would probably be a pretty cool test just to see what's going to happen. So let me put these bees in here real quick. We're going to do 1 life cycle per and see what we get. So I'll get this going, we'll wait a while, and I will bring you guys back in to see the results. Alright guys, so I've been letting this test run for a little while now, and it's about halfway. You can see that the bar is halfway down. This bee right here that has no frames in the alveary has produced 2 titanium combs and 6 rocky combs. Not so great. I guess 7 rocky combs now. Okay, so let's look at the one with the maximum amount of frame housings. Let's see how this one did. We have, wow, look at that, 46 rocky combs and 23 titanium combs. So it's exactly, 2 of these for 1 of these. Every single tick, there's no deviation there. So that's pretty cool. So if we look over at the one that's got 18 of these frame housing as opposed to the 22, we can see we're seeing similar results. 48 combs, 24 titanium combs. Is that what this one has? Yep, same numbers. Very good, very good. So now I would expect to see something here, but as we can see, we still have 48 rocky combs and 24 titanium combs. Well, I guess it just went up one. So 15, 25, this one should stay the same now. Yep. Okay, so we know for sure that 9, 18, and 24 frame housing is too many. We don't need to be wasting this many frames. So I'm going to have to redo this test, use less frame housings, probably do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and see what kind of numbers we can get then. Because obviously we are wasting frames and frame housings. We don't need that many to get the maximum amount of combs. Okay, so let me reconfigure these alvearies, and I will be back in a little bit with a new test. Alright guys, so I just reconfigured the test. We now have these 4 alvearies with different amounts of frame housings. This first one right here has 6 frame housings. This second one here has 4, then 3, and then finally just 1. So I'm going to see right now the amount of frame housings we need to hopefully know the right amount so we're not wasting frames. I just put the bees in here, so let's take a quick look right now. So we got 4 combs and 2. This one we have 4 combs and 2. That's pretty good. 4 of these frame housing looks the same so far. 3 frame housings. Ooh, look at this. No titanium combs with 3 frame housings. 4 of them does have, so that is good to know. Over here, 1 frame housing, just 1 rocky comb. So it might be that 4 is the magic number, but we've only let this go through a few ticks of the life cycle, so this one could slow down. Let me let these bees finish up, and we will find out which ones are pretty good. And I'm really thinking 4 might be our magic number. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so the bees just finished up, and the test results are in. So any guesses how many frames we need to get the maximum amount of combs and the specialties? Was it 1? Was it 3? 4? 6? Well, it turns out 6 actually is what we need to get the maximum amount of combs and specialty. So we get the same 2-to-1 ratio here. So that is really, really awesome. If we come over here to the 4, we can see we don't quite have the same amount. We would have 22 of these rocky combs if they were 2-to-1, but yeah, we are not getting the titanium combs at the maximum rate. So that is actually pretty interesting, and it almost warrants doing one more test with 5 frame housings. So that's something I might do off camera just to see, but 6 for sure is a lot better than the 22 frame housings that I have down below for the royal jelly and the pollen. Now, that's not to say that the royal jelly and the pollen will also produce the maximum amount that we're getting right now with just 6. I'm going to have to test that as well, but it is very hopeful that I don't have to be wasting that many frames. That is awesome. But here's something else that's interesting. You see we got 38 rocky combs, and this one has 38 rocky combs. So we're doubling the same amount of the generic combs that these bees produce. But yeah, this only affects the specialty. So down here at 3, we still have 38 combs, but only 1 specialty. So that is also interesting. We're still doubling the rocky combs. Now down here with the 1 frame housing, yep, only 15 and 0 specialties. So if you want to set up these alvearies and get the specialties, it looks like we're going to do 6 frame housings. But again, I'm going to do a test off camera with 5 of them just to verify and get the maximum result. But I'm pretty happy with knowing that 6 will work. Awesome. Okay, so there's some other things that I want to do today, not just testing these bees, but this is very, very, very useful information to know. So in order to get frames, I'm going to have to trade emeralds to villagers, and we get the proven frames. Now, I can do that and stockpile up a whole bunch of frames, but the problem is I don't have an infinite supply of emeralds. I know DMAC has a supply of emeralds over there, and I could go steal some. Yep, that is totally doable. But I would prefer to make all the stuff for my bees from the bees. So I have found out that there's a few different varieties of bees that make glowing combs. The glowing combs produce redstone. Redstone you can use with the HermitCraft, whatever that mod is called. Let's see if we can find that right in here. It's called... Xeno's Reliquary. I think that's how you pronounce that. Probably wrong. We can use that mod to convert redstone and emeralds into more emeralds. So we can, mass produce emeralds that way. We can also use the emerald beads that I have over there, but the problem with that is that to take the tiny piles of emerald dust, we need industrial TNT. And that is another bag of worms. It's probably something that I will tackle in the future, making the industrial TNT to do that, because we are going to be making emerald dust and diamond dust and ruby dust and all this other dust that we would want to back in the emerald form, or I guess the mineral form. Okay, so we can do that as well. So yeah, let's try and make one of these bees. Now, the 3 different bees that we can make are excited, energetic, and ecstatic bees. In order to make the energetic bees, we are going to need an excited and a valiant. We don't have the excited yet, so we can't quite do that. But we can make the excited bee out of a cultivated and a valiant. I have both of those bees. Let's try it. Okay, so I need a cultivated princess if possible. Not seeing any in here. Cultivated, are you cultivated? You're valiant. Well, actually, if I have a valiant princess, I could just take a cultivated drone if I have one of those. Let's see. There's a cultivated princess, and I just saw a valiant drone in the other one, so we can do it this way. Let me grab this valiant. Very good. Okay, so valiant and cultivated. Let's go through it over here in a bee mutator box. Also, we are going to need another one of our nether stars to make sure we get the mutation. Awesome. Whoop, there we go. Let's grab this guy, stick that in there, right? And we can put the bees in there. Very good. Okay, so this will take just a few moments, and I got a bunch of these proven frames. Man, this sucks. I need to combine these. I'm probably wasting a little bit of durability. That's fine. Just save some inventory space. These guys are about half durability anyway, not a big deal. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and make these all brand new again-ish. Then we can put them in our barrel. Still can't believe that I lost all of those frames from down here. I traded the villager a little bit more, so we got about 200 now, but man, that stinks. Okay, so our bees should probably be mutated by now. This doesn't take too long at all, only like 30 seconds. And yep, we have excited bees. Now, interesting thing about these bees that I have read is that they have an effect called lightning. So I am interested in seeing what this can do. Also, let's see what else. They're not nocturnal, they're not flyers, so they're going to need some work. But, whoop, I just threw that on the ground. Let's see if we can throw this in one of these hives real quick. I'm kind of interested in seeing what the lightning effect's going to do. And how... I'm going to step back for just a moment. I don't know like if it's going to be lightning all over or just at the beehive itself. Now that also brings up the question, if this thing produces lightning as an effect, will it work with maybe a lightning rod? Will it work with converting... the gravity gun into the supercharged gravity gun? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there's some lightning. Interesting. So it's not right around the hive. Ooh, look at that. That means I'm not safe right here. Should probably back off a little bit. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a lot of lightning. Huh. So I wonder if I could set these bees up somewhere randomly on the server and just cause lightning all of the time. That might be funny. Probably an annoying prank, but it could be funny. Okay, so yeah, it's nighttime. This bee's probably gone dormant because it's not nocturnal. Ooh, got fire somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, sound like fire. All right, well, give me a little bit of time. I'm going to take these bees. I'm going to, make them better. I'm going to actually make this nocturnal, put it over here, inject it up so it works day and night, and then we will mutate these bees further and try and get to the ecstatic bee. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just bred that bee, and I made the excited species serum using the isolator, so I can always remake another one of these bees, so that's cool. I ended up waiting till day, not really putting the nocturnal trait into the bee. So I stuck it in here, and it, caused lightning around and burnt down a fence post right here. So these things are kind of dangerous. Also, something that I didn't realize about these bees is they require redstone torches as their flower. I didn't see this before, yeah. So that is a new trait that I haven't seen before on bees. So I don't think I really want that, and I can also inject these guys with the flower serum, so they'll want flowers instead of redstone. But for now, just a redstone torch right here seems to be all that they need. Oh, that's weird. I was gonna go turn the rain off, but I guess it turned itself off. Okay, so the next bee that we want to make is the energetic bee, and that requires an excited and a valiant. So let me actually get another one of these stars out. Yep, put that guy in here. So we need a valiant. Yeah, it's a valiant and an excited. So we can put that in here, and we can put this in here. Let these guys go. And I don't think we're actually going to see the crazy lightning and stuff because this Valiant doesn't have that by default. So yeah, after about 30 seconds or so, we should now get ourselves some energetic bees. Now the difference between the excited bees and the energetic ones, the excited do produce these glowing combs, but according to what I've read, they produce it every 15.3 minutes. The energetic ones produce it every 12.7, which is much better. But if we take the excited and the energetic and we mutate both of those together, we can get the ecstatic bee, and that produces one of those glowing combs every 10.2 minutes, which seems pretty awesome. Each one of those combs produces a redstone when centrifuged, which means we can turn that into emeralds using that cheaty book of cheatiness. So that should be pretty awesome. All right, here we go. Here's energetic bees. Very good. Let's take all this stuff out of here. Oh, Coca. Oh, that must have been from the Valiant. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to breed these guys just once. Hopefully get 2 more bees. I'm going to back away because that lightning's kind of dangerous. Yeah, hopefully we get 2 more bees. I might do this 1 or 2 more times so I can get the serum. Did that catch something on fire? I hope not. Yeah, that lightning, man. Alright, let's look at this bee real quick. Just see. This is the energetic one. So, shorter, slowest redstone to lightning effect. And over here, yeah, just cave. Nothing else. Not very great bee. Okay, so once... Oh, it's on fire. I gotta go put that out. I don't want this thing to burn. Whew. Let's put that one out too. Okay, so these should be bred. Yeah, good. We got more of these. Very awesome. Okay, so I'm going to try and get the energetic serum, and then we can breed these 2 species together, and then hopefully, at this point, we will be able to get the ecstatic bee and check that out. So I will be right back. Okay, that didn't take any time at all, actually. The first serum I got was that species serum, so that is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's do our final mutation for today. Once again, we're going to need 1 more of these little guys. Stick that in here. Then we can take the... Okay, let's see. We need the excited and the energetic. So we can put the excited princess in there and an energetic drone. And we have another star. And it's time to get out of here because we're going to get more lightning. Awesome. Okay, so once that happens, we should have the best one, which would be the Ecstatic Bee, which produces the glowing combs every 10.2 minutes by default, which we can increase significantly using these alvearies, the frame housings, fast productivity, lots of other stuff like that. So we'll be getting a lot of redstone for free. I think that should be done by now, actually. So let's check it out. There's our Ecstatic Bees. Very good. Let's do this one more time just so I get an extra stockpile of drones so I can get the serum and I can create more. Let me do that, and we will check these bees out. I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, so I've been spending a little bit of time here taking these bees, the Ecstatic drones, and making them near perfect. They still got a little bit more work to go, but I've really spent probably 45 minutes with the injections trying to get these guys really good. So I put the elongated life on them, fast speed, I changed them from redstone to flowers. I didn't change their fertility at all, and I got rid of their lightning effect just because it's pretty dangerous. Over here I gave them Nocturnal, Flare, and Cave, so they'll work day and night in the rain or shine, which will be useful. But what I want to see is if we put them in this alveary here that has the 6 frame housings, this technically should be the fastest. I want to see how many of these glowing combs they can make and how fast. If they can make 2 of them every couple of, or like every 30 seconds or something, that'll be really awesome. Now, I said earlier that I was... Ooh, yep, that is pretty good. And what's a static comb? I can't remember what the static comb is. The glowing comb is what I wanted because this makes the redstone. Maybe this makes glowstone? Actually, you know what? Let's go find out. But I misspoke earlier. I was saying that I needed the redstone to make emeralds, and that is actually not true. And I'll look at the recipes with you guys in just 1 second. Let's stick this in here real quick. What does a static comb give us? It gives us... Ooh, what was that? That was something new. An energy drop. What the heck is an energy drop? Hit U on this thing. It can make honey crystals that store 8,000 EU. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into this and see if this is actually useful, but I don't know if storing 8,000 EU is actually worth it. Unless when you craft it, it makes it, you know, fully charged. Okay. Let me put these combs back in here real quick. Very good. So what I was talking about before, let's look at this tome. Not how to make it, what you use it to craft with. Okay, so yeah, we've made the dragon egg with this before. Oh, wrong thing, actually. Oh, no, that was the right thing. Let's go over here. Let's see. Shapeless crafting with it. Okay, so it's the tome with 1 emerald and a lapis block makes double emeralds. This is where I got confused. I was talking to DMAC about this the other day, and he was talking about redstone for something, and I thought it was redstone plus the emerald made 2 emeralds, but no. So my lapis bees that I have will actually come in handy for this. But the redstone can also be used for other things. Like I can take 1 piece of lapis and 4 redstone and create extra lapis, which I guess is okay. I can double glowstone. I can convert the redstone into glowstone, which is good. We can make gunpowder out of 4, which is alright. This might be pretty good for making the industrial TNT. 1 redstone would turn to 8 more flint, so that's pretty cool. And I don't think, well, we can make charcoal, I guess, which would... I guess we can get EU power from that, but I don't know if we really want to do that. We can make endstone. We can make nether brick. These aren't super useful, I don't think. Soul sand wouldn't be that great to make. Obsidian, no. Actually, right here. Jungle wood. I do have a use for this, and we will go into this actually in a different episode, probably next episode. But yes, converting wood into more wood is going to be extremely useful. Alright, so let's see. I guess I got carried away looking at that recipe. Yeah, I was curious to see how fast that these things would make it. Yeah, 14 redstone already. That is awesome. And then these static combs, awesome. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. It's great to know that I don't have to use 22 of those frame housings to get the maximum amount of stuff off of the bees, the maximum amount of combs. I can only use 6, and we can still get an excellent amount of those specialty combs. Very, very awesome. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.